Hi there, and welcome to Marital Values. Today I have my husband in the hot seat. Well, people have been asking me a lot of questions, and they've asked me the ups and downs about our marriage, how marriage has been for us so far. So today we just want to share a little bit of our experience so far with our marriage. So, babe.
It's been a long 7 years, even though we've known each other for about 13 years now.
13.
Yes. I would consider them a learning period for us because before now, things have been not as smooth as it is right now because I had to learn you, and I guess you had to learn me too.
I'm still learning you.
Still learning you. So, there's been some happenings that shouldn't have happened if I had learned you the way I have, or if I had known you the way I do now. Now, even though I had known you 6 years before then, distance was kind of a barrier as to getting to know each other. So, I mean, it's been ups and downs. I wouldn't use sweet and bitter. It's been sweet for the most part, but it's been ups and downs. It's been times where it's rough, and it's been times when it's been sweet.
For me, I would say marriage has been very eye-opening. Very, very eye-opening. Like, I went into it with a lot of expectations, and I always had this mindset that if you love someone, they can never hurt you. They can never say things that are mean to you. They cannot basically do things that would hurt your feelings. But I was wrong. I was wrong because there's so many times that you've hurt my feelings and I have hurt your feelings. Mm-hmm. And
a lot of times you have
not as much as you're hurt mine.
Yeah. What's the measuring tip here?
Our hearts.
Exactly. So
our hearts.
You only know your heart. I know my heart, and coming from my perspective, there are a lot of things that I would not say to you that you might be, being a female and being more of an open person than I am, would say to me. Yeah, but I know I have said things to hurt you, done things to hurt you, not intentionally, but just because I didn't know any better. And
yeah, so that's why I said it's been very eye-opening. I had to learn that it doesn't work that way. Even when you love someone, they can still, that's when it can hurt you the most. Because come to think of it, someone you don't love, their words won't matter to you. Their actions won't matter to you.
I'm sorry, I can't believe you've come to understand that, because I know you had difficulties accepting it when I say what other people do don't get to me. It's only what you do that gets to me, because you're special. You have a pretty big chunk of my heart. You're in control of my feelings. So I remember then when I used to say that what people say or what they do don't get to me, I could ignore people. But when it comes to you, it does get to me because I love you, and the expectation that, like you said, you shouldn't be saying some certain things to me or doing some certain things to me.
Yeah, another thing I kind of learned was I'm still learning that actually, how to rephrase my words or my sentences, because even though I expected that you would not be able to hurt me or you cannot hurt me, I also know that some words you use will get to me, and I know that some words I use will get to you. So this year's past has been something I've learned to be like, okay, if I say this thing like this, it's probably gonna hurt him, and I don't want to hurt you. So that's what it has been. It's been like a learning process for us. It's been, for me especially, it's been eye-opening for me. I've had my own struggles with marriage, but thank God we've not had very, very, very crucial situations that God couldn't help us pull through, and they want to know. Somebody asked, what exactly are you guys still working on? Like, what do you know? Okay, so she was like, What does Samantha not like that you know you're still working on? And what does Moses not like that you know that you are still working on? You know?
Um, I'm working on pretty much everything. It's a continuous learning and working, but I think the biggest one would be the fact that um, I don't know. You tend to want what you want when you want them.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I believe that, sometimes you have to strategize, you have to take your time.
I feel like you take so long sometimes.
That is by your measurement. My measurement could be 10 inches and yours is 3 inches. So the fact that I'm taking 10 inches and you're expecting me to do it in 3 inches or 3 minutes doesn't mean that.
Sometimes you take up to 50 inches.
No, I don't think so. I don't think I take up to.
I think so because I'm on the waiting side. So maybe waiting is more difficult.
It feels that way. And I think it also depends on what we're doing or what you want. Sometimes it might take 2 minutes, it might take 3, it might take 5. But I'm beginning to learn that, as it's taking me time to get what you want or get to where you want me to be or where you want us to be or get the thing you want me to get, I should string you along. I should communicate with you in order for you not to feel like you're left alone. So I should always come, hey babe, I did not forget. I'm still working on it. I think that has been something that I have learned, because before now just be thinking in my head, working in my heart, and trying to get to a point where I just bring it and it's 100% done. So it's something that I'm still struggling with.
I definitely appreciate that communication. Communication has really improved for us, I would say that. And for me, I think my mouth. I have a very sharp tongue, and I wouldn't say it's in a bad way, but I seem to be very blunt. And I always believe
I
that
think that very should be replaced with 2.
I'm too blunt. I don't think I'm too blunt. I think I just say things the way they are. I don't sugarcoat things. But I know the way that, you've told me several times that the way it comes across can be very hurting and sometimes can sound very disrespectful. And that's something I know that I've particularly, and I'm still working on. I know you don't like that. My husband doesn't like that. So that's what I know my biggest struggle has been. Sometimes I just, like, I will tell my friends when we talk, I try to pick my battles now. I try to pick my words now, and I try to just let some things be. Ordinarily, I don't let anything be. I mean, like 7 years ago, I would say it. No matter how small it is, I would call it out. But now I think I am beginning to learn to just let some things be and let some things play out for itself. That's still my biggest struggle, but I think I'm improving on that, but I don't know if you feel the same way.
Yes, you are. You've improved greatly. I would give you that. But even in us, trying to pick our battles, there are things that are important that we should always, because one of the things I looked for when I was about to get married, and I wanted someone that would keep me on my feet, not someone that would not speak up to say, oh, this is not going well with me, or this is not what I wanted. I wanted someone that would be able to speak up, because we're all humans. We have a tendency to derail, from normal. So, even at that, picking the battles, we should also know the things that are core values to us and core values to our family, and things that, are very necessary. Like, we know spending time together is very important
it's
in this
very
home.
important.
Being there, being present physically is very important to us. So, those are the things that we cannot. I over time has been able to. I'm going to say this without getting in trouble though. separate your heart from your mouth.
But I'm working on the mouth though.
Yes, you are, but I'm also working in a way that, I'm trying to understand you to separate your heart from your mouth. So oftentimes you say some things. I try to give it a different meaning and try to interpret your heart towards that.
Yeah.
You understand? So you might just, go be furious about certain things the way you say them. But again, I sit back and think, I guess she just wants the family to, be better at it, or to, spend more time together, or she wants the home to be better. It's not because she just wants to, vent.
Yeah.
So that's the role. And again, just to add to that, I think in marriage, it's very important that we try to understand our partner from the perspective that they're saying certain things, because a lot of times we act and say things different from what we actually intended to do, or the goal
true.
we want to achieve. I might I might want you to succeed in whatever you're doing, but the way I'm going about it might come off as though I don't want you. But if you see that, okay, I think that he really means well for me, then we begin to see things from a different perspective. I don't know, that's my thought.
Like, boy, have we grown though. Like, some years ago, we'll not be able to talk like this.
We're not getting pissed.
Someone will be angry, someone will misinterpret things, and for some reason we just shut down. But I see maturity in us, I see growth, positive growth in us, and I see the zeal to better our marriage. That's something that I really, really appreciated in our marriage.
I'm gonna give that to you though, that zeal to work it out, because not everyone would put in extra efforts to apply themselves, to make changes, to see that they're not the way they were yesterday, just to make their marriage better. You have constantly put in yourself and fought for this marriage, and I do appreciate that. It's not like I'm not doing, but I think I see what you do. So
I think you're doing the same thing too. I still believe that one person cannot work on a marriage. You will get emotionally frustrated, you will get dry and drained and burned out. It takes two people. It's like we went to the altar together, two of us took the vows. It doesn't have to be me only trying to work on our marriage. It doesn't have to be you only trying to work on our marriage. It has to be two of us, because we agreed that we were gonna get married and deal with each other's issues. I think the second to the last question that someone had asked is, what part of this is kind of gonna be hard, Samantha, are you still struggling to deal with?
I've learned not to get angry at some things you say to me, and how you word them, and how you come out with them. Before now, I would just get angry. I'll find myself, boiling the inside. How dare? Why would she think she could talk to me like that? Or why would she put it that way? Why would she even think that? But now I keep telling myself, boy, she's your wife. And if you notice, I've been telling you that oftentimes, you're my wife, you're not my friend. Why would you think that? But it is something I also tell myself, every time, she's my wife. I mean, I can't take things from you the way I would take it from other people.
Yeah.
But still, I still have to understand that you are part of me, and your intentions are good.
Yeah. For me, I feel like my husband could be very minute with information. Like, he would give you a summary of any information, and a large part of it would not be in there. That's it. I feel like I don't know what example I can use now that can actually portray that, but I feel like you're not very, my husband is not a very detailed person when comes to talking to me. So I feel like you didn't tell me this, you didn't tell me that. And he's not someone that would, like he said, we talked about it before, move at the pace that I would necessarily want him to move at. So that I am learning to be like, okay, give him time, let him do his thing, don't force him to do it. And once in a while, instead of blowout, I would just chip it in like, babe, you still haven't done this, or honey, this thing still haven't been done. And he'll go, I'll do it. You know? Like
sometimes I say I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Almost ready.
Like a caption I read, it says, when a man tells you he will do something, he will do it. Stop reminding him every 6 months. You know, that kind of thing.
No, it's not that bad.
No, it's not. Maybe I've exaggerated, but it's not that bad. But that's the part that I'm actually, he has a lot of details, but I feel like he doesn't tell me everything. Some parts are missing. So that I'm still consciously working on a blowout when I find out that, hey, you left this part of information out of what you told me, or you didn't tell me this exact same thing. I am a very precise person. Don't try to go around things. Tell me things the way it is. So that has been like something that I know I'm still struggling and learning to give him patience and a lot of grace. You know, because I know he's his own person, I'm my own person, and we've made that mistake a lot of times trying to judge our personalities by what we do. I feel like you're not acting the way I'm acting,
Exactly.
so this is getting me angry, and you're not acting the way, you know, the way I'm acting, and that gets me offended. Now I'm beginning to understand that he's his own person. He's more of the quiet person, even though I feel like he talks a lot sometimes. He thinks I'm the talker.
Just you are the talkative one. Let me tell you, I don't know, a few days ago, if you remember, I did say something that I'm married to a woman, not a man.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people make the mistake in marriage of expecting the spouse to act the way they would.
Mm-hmm.
But if you act the way I do, then you're more of a man than a woman. And if I act the way you do, I'm more of a woman than a man. So I think we should just allow each other to be our own person.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, learn the intricacies of these different little things. As long as the intentions are not bad, that is how I see it. Because if you're very detailed, if I begin to talk like you, then
I would give you all the punctuations, and
I just took over you. I enjoy you talking, and over time you said I don't talk, and I try. Sometimes I try to do it, and it's not just working.
It's actually funny when you try to do that. Sometimes
it's not working. So it is me. You just have to understand that I'm not a very detailed. I'm not a storyteller, but I have different ways of expressing myself and saying. I like to summarize things and just give it the way it is. There are things I feel are not important in the information I'm passing, or the bulk of information I'm passing across to you, that you may feel is important. So I'm learning over time to add those little things into it, the things that I think, she, would like to hear. Again, it is the learning process.
Okay, I think lastly, the last question was, what is it that you guys like about each other? What do I like about you? What do you like about me? One thing I appreciate a lot about my husband is he's very family oriented. That's something I am very grateful to God for. He would spend time with the kids and me. Sometimes I feel like I don't get enough time, but when I look at all the marriages, no disrespect now, I have to appreciate mine. And he's patient. That's where I know that I always tell you that you have more patience than I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's very patient, more patient than I would be. And lastly, he knows how to control his mouth in public. public more than I would do, or his emotions. And that I love, because I would tell myself, Samantha, you're going out or you're going to this meeting and you're not gonna say anything. And I will go to that meeting and I will be the first person to say all the things, even the ones I'm not supposed to say. But my husband can be like, okay, I'm going here and I'm not even gonna. And he will go and he would not do that. And it's something I appreciate in a man. And I do really appreciate you for that. And it's something I'm learning from you. I remember you used to tell me you don't have to say everything. You don't. And I'll tell myself, why don't I have to say everything? If there's anything to be said, I want to say it. And my husband, like, you don't have to say everything. And I'm grateful that you taught me that, because I learned some in a hard way. And I actually had to remember that, well, your husband told you don't have to say everything, you know.
Yeah, I'm glad you're saying those. I really appreciate the fact that you see those things. The idea behind that is just like someone had said in church on Sunday, that we have to learn how to be the lamb, and know when to be the lion, know when to be the lamb.
Yeah.
When Jesus was led to the cross, he was the lamb and he was quiet. He didn't say a word. When he was in front of Pilate, he didn't say a word. So it's something that we'll pray that God gives us the spirit of discernment. We were talking about our kids a few days ago, and we were saying we were praying for the spirit of discernment for them also, that they would know when to speak up, because there are a lot of crazy people out there. There are people that when you talk to them, they go violent. Some, when you don't talk to them, they go violent. So it's just knowing when to and when not to. Now, to answer the question, I also have learned from you that you have to speak up.
Okay.
Sometimes if you don't speak up, people don't hear you.
Yeah.
Oftentimes people don't hear you when you don't speak up.
So that's something you like about me?
I like it, and I've learned from you.
Okay.
I like that you speak up. Again, it was something that I admired in you from the start, because you have been you. The same thing that you would get pissed over when we were dating. Those are the same thing you get pissed over now. You've been you showed me a real.
So I haven't changed at all?
You have changed. You have developed into a very, very beautiful, gorgeous, well-mannered woman. But then, what I'm talking about here is, if something offends you, you speak up.
Yeah, so you basically just go about it in a different way, but I still say it.
You still say it now. You say it in a more
subtle way.
Subtle way, and you'd say it's more put together. I don't know if I'm making any point, but at the end of the day, another thing I like in you is the fact that you have a big heart, and you love 100%. And you give your time. I know you've taken everything that I own as yours, and several times you made a lot of sacrifices that I did not think you would make for this home. And I really am very grateful to God that you are the way you are, because a lot of women would not make the sacrifices that you make. I don't know about them, but this is what I know, and this is what I have seen. You're a giver. You have a very big heart. You're a giver. You give of yourself. And I said you speak up. And I also like that you love your body and you take care of yourself. And I really appreciate that. That was one other criteria right from when I was a little boy. I was always like, she has to be a lover of herself, in the sense that she doesn't let herself go.
Yeah.
I come home, you're looking always beautiful, always kept, always good. You take care of the home, and I love that about you. You're very homely. It is something I used to talk about with my friends when we were dating and you were so far away. I was like, she's so homely. I can't imagine when we have a home together, and then.
Well, now we do.
Yes.
Now we do. I just wanna add, even though that nobody asked this, one thing that we do, no matter what the situation, the circumstances is, whether we're angry, whether we're happy, whether we're hurt, whether we're bitter, whether we're hating, whatever the case may be, there's this one thing that we've always done in our marriage and will still continue to do. We communicate our whereabouts.
Yeah.
Like, there is no time I don't know where my husband is, and there's no time he doesn't know where I am.
Even as little as going to the store,
Yeah.
coming from work, I have to stop by
Yeah.
the store. I gotta tell you.
If my husband is coming from work and he needs to stop by a store to get bread, it doesn't matter. He's gonna tell me, honey, I am stopping at Stop and Shop. And that doesn't end there. When he gets to Stop and Shop, he will still text me, honey, I'm at Stop and Shop.
Yeah.
We don't have to put, when we're angry, we don't have to put the love, sweet kiss thing, but we need to put always our emotions away, and we need to communicate our whereabouts. We just can't leave the house because we're angry, or not communicate when we get to work, or if my husband is at work and I get home and not communicate with him that I'm home. It's something that for some reason we didn't talk about it. We just
Something we
just
just
started.
doing. I guess we were doing it right from when we were,
right from when I was in
Yeah.
Africa and you were here. Like,
so.
my husband knows when I'm in at the fellowship, he knows when I'm home. You know, of course, distance relationship, you have your doubts sometimes, and I remember sometimes, like, okay, snap me this picture, you know.
Lord, these days.
I know, and I'll be like,
You did the same thing. Didn't you?
I just did something like that last week.
Yes, you did.
Even now that we're together.
Hey, I just
Okay, I'm just gonna talk about it quickly. So his schedule kind of changed last week, and he had to go to work the time that he usually would not go to work. And I called him because I'm not used to that schedule, not because I don't trust him. And he was like, "Oh, I'm here," and all that stuff. He called me multiple times, but I wasn't on my phone at the point, and then I called him back. And I said, let's do a video call. I just wanted to see him. It's an odd hour, you know. And then he came out of the building, and I'm like, babe, that doesn't look like the place I've been to before. And God is good, babe. Like, usually you will not even take that very welcoming.
That was back in the day.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you trying to say? And before now, I probably would not still say it. I'd be like, that's not work that you are in. I was very careful saying it. I didn't want to offend him. I didn't want to insinuate that he's not at work. So I'm like, I haven't seen this place. And then it was boiling in my heart because, like he says, I'm Samantha. I just want to say it because it's in my heart. And then I'm like, that looks like a house. Because I know the building is very tall. And then he started laughing like, this is not a house, babe. This is the back of the building. I said, I have never seen the back of the building. Why would you come out of the building anyway to talk to me? So what he did, that was very sweet. He said, you know what, let me call you back when I'm in the building. In a few minutes, he was in there where I'm used to, on his seat. I know his seat. I know how his table looks and everything. And I know behind his co-worker, I've not really seen his face. But I've seen his behind, so I know, okay, this is the person. And he was like, I'm in the office. I'm like, oh, well, thank you for doing that. You know, it's not because we don't trust. Sometimes it just reassures us that we're not trusting the wrong thing and we're not being fooled. You know, whether we're 30 years in marriage or 100 years or whatever years, we always want to keep reassuring ourselves that
the devil plays tricks on us oftentimes. It just suggests things to us, and you know, some of the fights we've had is just because maybe the devil suggested something to me and I said it and you got offended, or the reverse. You know, he suggested something to you and you said it, because we're humans. There's going to be those times where there's questions, there's doubts, and you know, I can't just flip because you're asking. You are entitled. You know, like
Maybe do you not think something different?
Well,
Nothing? Something I've learned I didn't used to make eye contact.
Oh, Lord. That's not good.
Well, babe, time is up. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
have to cut us.
before we cut it, let me just add something. It's something I have learned in marriage.
Yeah.
I've learned that you have to treat others, your spouse. Give your spouse what you want them to give to you.
Amen.
You can't ask for what you cannot give.
Mm-hmm. Very important.
I think we've been confused a lot of times by people saying men want sex, men want sex, women want love, men want respect, women want gifts
And affection.
But at the end of the day, I think everybody wants the same thing. Everybody wants respect, everybody wants love, everybody wants, that sexual fulfillment when they desire it, and everybody wants to be appreciated.
I think people are just confused. They have a different interpretation where in Corinthians, where the Bible talked about men love your wife and women respect your husband. So people just
end there.
Yeah, I feel like there's more spiritual explanation to that. You need to read it, like understand that. And it comes hand in hand. If I love you, I would respect you.
Exactly.
And if I respect you, it means I can easily love you.
People just truncate it that this is what the Bible says, but the Bible, I believe, was saying it because he feels like these are the things that are difficult for us to deal with. So the Bible was laying emphasis on those parts that he feels is difficult for us to deal with. Like, if we're leaving the home and our kids, we know which one doesn't go to the bathroom, remind them you have to go to the bathroom. So they would not now dwell on the fact that daddy said I have to go to the bathroom, so I can't pick up when there's a mess on the ground.
Yeah.
So it is just a focus, but it still means that we need to cover every
topic, honey.
Yeah.
That's a whole different broad topic. And it's something that will be interesting to talk about.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
So this is where we draw it today. I hope we were able to bless your marriage, and I want to thank my husband. He's not a camera person. He's not a public person. I don't think I'm a public person either, but I don't know. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed it, and please subscribe and share so other people can get blessed. Until next time, have a blessed time, and we'll pray for your marriage or pray for your family, that the hand of the Lord will be upon it.
Amen.
In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.